guys, welcome back to this channel. I was not super sure what would be the topic or what chart we should use, what theme of this storyline would be in this video, but then I've read in the People magazine about the Michael Fox, how he was overcoming the challenges related to this Parkinson's disease. And very interesting thing is that you can also check in the charts that he was very much inspired by Muhammad Ali. And if you will see both of these charts, Michael G. Fox, known from the Back to the Future, and the Muhammad Ali, they are sharing very interesting combination, namely Mars and Saturn in Kendra. In Muhammad Ali, you will see that he has this Mars and Saturn in the 10th house. By the way, this combination is very good for boxing, very good for property dealings and anything related to spirituality, because this is the Yama Yoga, the yoga of death. In spirituality, we are the Smashana Vairagya. This is the being inspired by the transient nature of this world, that everything has an end, and we, the soul, we are Satchit Ananda, full of bliss, Ananda, full of Sat, which is the continuance, and Chit, which is the knowledge. And the irony is that we are like that as a soul, and we feel that through our psychology. We don't want things to end, we don't want to die, unless we are suffering a lot or we are in the very big pain. But the problem is that we are in the environment which is Asat, which is the temporary, which is the Achit, full of ignorance, and the opposite to Ananda, which is there is a lot of suffering, right? There are three types of suffering in this world. So we could see that this polarization between the internal wishes and the reality outside has inspired the whole nature of both philosophy and spirituality. But going back, these two charts, Muhammad Ali and Michael G. Fox, they are sharing Mars and Saturn in the Kendra. So this is very interesting. Now we can shortly go through our four things. One would be the very short examination of this Parkinson's disease. This is not the highlight of this video. The second would be what we always do, the standardized career life approach. The third would be the fame. And the fourth, what is most important, the worst year, 2018. He is saying that this 2018 was very much challenging time for him. And we would like to see, is there some Dasha changing? So I always like to see, is there some either half of the Dasha changing? Is there some big Dasha changing in that major either breakthrough or something bad is happening, or for example like debut, someone is starting a new karma, right? So we always want to see where is the beginning of the Mahadasha, or at least some 1/3 or half, and so on, because that can show us which Dasha may be working, may be dominating. So in this chart we have a moon in Kendra, so definitely the Vimshotri Dasha is working fine, because the personal life and the society, they are going in sync and hand in hand. The society is going here, I'm understanding the impulses going from other people, the dynamics, and I'm doing the ping pong. I'm giving action, I receive reaction, I react in proper ways. There is this nice biorhythm, the nice union. I'm very much connected to the society. Not so much when the moon is in Dushtana. Then we have to use the other biorhythm, the other Dasha, we could say, right? In this chart, by the way, we have Graha Malika Yoga from 4 to 8. So the 4th becomes very important. We have the very nice Annapurna Yoga there, Moon and Venus in 4th house, 10th Lord. Venus is going to the 4th, Digbala. This is the directional strength. Very nice yoga, ending in the Rahu in 8. Now, this Rahu is very important here because Mercury is in own sign as a 6th Lord. So we know that when Mercury is in own sign, then we have to see Rahu, because the Rahu is something which is called Uchanata. This means the Lord of Exaltation. So Mercury is exalted in Virgo and Rahu is loading the Virgo. So if you have own sign or exalted planets, then see the Lord of Exaltation. This is very saving and helpful rule from this tradition, and without this rule many charts don't make any sense. So always remember about this own and exaltation. If you see this Avashta, state of planet in the chart, go to the exaltation Lord, which is called Ucha Nata. Ucha is exaltation, Nata is always controller, the Lord and master. And now, this is very important because Mercury is 6th lord, and when 6th lord is an 8 or there is any connection, then we talk about the disease. This Rahu is also in Sun sign and in the Navamsha connected to the 12th lord, and this is dispositor of Atmakaraka. So we are talking here about the health problems because the Graha Malika Yoga, which is the outcome of this chart, is ending in the 8th house of disease. So we did that Graha Malika Yoga, but we are not even on the first point, the Parkinson disease. So we know that this is brain disease, which causes unintended movements. Sometimes the person feels that the movement is stiff. There is a lot of shaking, the problem with balance, and this is mostly related to men and especially after the age of 60. However, in Michael J. Fox, this started in 91 when he was 30 years of age. The theory is that the nerve cells in the basal ganglia, they are dying. There is unknown source. The scientists don't know why it is happening, and there is a theory which is also supported by scientists about possible poisoning before the development of disease. So the exposure to toxins could be one way or one cause. And by the way, Michael J. Fox in that interview said that he didn't want to trace it because he was making him crazy. Okay, so we need the nerves, this is Mars. We need the brain, this is the dispositor of the moon. So in this case, we have dispositor of the moon. And Pandit Sanjay Rath said is relationship between the dispositor of the moon to the 4th from the moon, and in this case we have this Mars which shows the nerves, and the dispositor would be related to the brain. So in this case we have dispositor of the moon in the 4th house. Now we have this 1/7 axis which is also causing some brain and nervous system, because the first is about the brain, the 7th house also is showing the bags or the spine. So the brain and spine, the central organ we could say when it comes to neurology or neurological diseases. And also the connection to badhaka is very often there. So we see that in this case Mars. I forgot to change the direction of the microphone. So for Chara Lagna, the movable sign, the 11th house would be the badhaka, and the Lord would be Mars here, right? This Capricorn ascendant, the 11th is Scorpio. We have connection to Mars. So we have this yoga for Parkinson, and it's very easy to see his fame and acting. We see that the main two rules is the moon and Jupiter. So we have moon connected to Aruda, Lagna, and Jupiter in the 1st house, and Lagna and Aruda normally they are also connected. So we have the Saturn on sign give effects to Venus. Venus is connected to Aruda Lagna. I went a bit fast through this because we were doing that in every biography of the celebrities which are by nature they are famous, so we did that already. Okay guys, if you like this video so far, please don't forget to click the like button. You are helping me with the algorithm of YouTube. Subscribe if you like to get notification about more videos in the future. And now let's go back to this video. So we did the Graha Malika, very important. We did this Mars nervous system, this dispositor of the moon in the 4th, right? We see Mars loading the moon in the 4th house for this Parkinson disease. The Mars is also afflicted, it's also a badhaka. We will see in the Navamsha, we have this Mars at Makaraka with the Mercury and Saturn in the 7th house. When it comes to rectification, I just leave it as it is in Leo because the marriage was Mercury in one Dasha and Saturn in other. So Moon Vimshotri and the Mars Vimshotri. And we have Mercury and Saturn in the 7th house. I was considering maybe Kanya, Virgo, in 6th house could be there, because this year we will be talking about this 2018, the worst year. It was very much connected to this. When we talk about the acting, right, we need to have Venus and Mercury related to these important career life points. We were doing that. Also 10th from the moon is that same Saturn. Often this is causing entertainment, but Saturn's own sign giving effects to Venus. In the 10th in Navamsha we have Venus dominating. In the Dashamsa we have Venus also dominating the strongest Artakona, the 6th house. Saturn is there exalted, and this is the Venus sign. So we did Graha Malika Yoga. We were talking about this disease, 6th lord in the 8th through the Uchanada of Mercury. We are talking about the Parkinson disease and also about fame and actor yogas. Now, he is saying that 2018 was the worst year for him because it was the year of surgery, very dangerous, very risky, because he was very stressful about it in 2018. And then after the surgery, he had a fall in the kitchen, which was also very much bad for him, very much challenging health-wise situation, and also emotionally when it comes to mental health, how he was feeling. So this year was very bad for him. And we want to learn this for our benefit, because we want to generalize this, right? We want to pinpoint, research those charts of our friends, clients, celebrities to be able to derive the rule so we can be prepared, aware, we can do some remedies, we can maybe avoid things because of we are aware. So now the Kevala yoga is very handy here. Moon is in the Mars sign and Mars is at Makaraka. In such situation, we are starting the Dasha system not from the Moon Nakshatra, but from the Mars Nakshatra. In such situation, exactly in 2018, this is when the Rahu Mahadasha is starting. So now I know, oh, this Dasha is very good showing this person events. I can use this Dasha, I can depend on this because Rahu is ending the Graha Malika in the 8th. This is the disease. And this is very much so if we take into consideration Rahu is loading Aquarius. In the Navamsha in Aquarius, we have this Mars and Saturn Yama Yoga with Mercury. And we know that Mars and Rahu, right? We have Mars and Rahu sign. Mars and Rahu, we also learned this, is for accident. And now see this beautiful yoga here, astrologically. Rahu is dispositing the Mars, so Rahu Mars yoga is there, but because it's with the 12th Lord Moon in the Navamsha, this is showing the hospitalization and the disease and so on. And this was not only accident but also the surgery, so something related to disease, because this Rahu is that 6th Lord in the 8th in Rashi, right? Without this could only be accident, but with this yoga in Rashi, we have both hospitalization, the surgery, but also we had this hospitalization through accident because of this Rahu Mars yoga in the Navamsha. So we have both things in that year 2018. So why Rahu was so bad? It is 8 from Lagnesha, it's a badhakesha from the moon, it's in the badhaka from the Aruda Lagna, right? So the Antardasha can be quite problematic. In the Navamsha, we have Rahu in 11th. 11th is also not the best. It says that this is the house of the punishment, also something shocking. We don't have the knowledge because this is like house of the Rahu. And what's most important, Rahu is dispositing this Yama Yoga, this feeling of death, which is joining the Atmakaraka, the soul, in the Navamsha, right? And this is connected to the 12th Lord, therefore this bad experience is related to health, hospitalization, some accidents, and things like that. So we can learn a lot from this chart. We have the 6th in 8 yoga ending the Graha Malika. This can give problems with the health, especially in the Navamsha. This was connected to the 12th Lord of serious health issues. So if you have this in the chart of you, or you see this yoga is appearing in the charts, then this may show that the whole life, because the Graha Malika and is showing what is the goal, the direction, the theme of a life. So that would be definitely very much resonating with what Michael G. Fox is talking about his life, that this was some challenge to overcome. He was very much inspired by the biography of Muhammad Ali, as said, with a very similar combination. Then we learned about this fame yoga and actor yoga. We did that already. And then we were talking about this Dasha of Rahu. And remember to use the proper Dasha. If the dispositor of the moon is Atmakaraka, what is Atmakaraka is the planet with the highest degrees, then we need to use the Kevala Dasha or Dasha, which is starting from that particular planet. Here it is, dispositor of the moon is Mars. We are starting the Vimshotri from the Mars, and you can set that in every software. In Jagannath Hora, Sri Jyotistar, Devaguru, you can just start the Vimshotri from that planet, and you will have totally different timing system, and which will be how it is seen here, much more accurate, right? Rahu exactly started in 2018, the worst year. Rahu is ending Graha Malika Yoga in 8th house as a 6th Lord, so disease is happening. In the Navamsha, this is dispositing Mars, so Rahu Mars is accident and connected to the 12th Lord, which is showing the hospitalization. Very, very accurate Dasha if we use it properly. Okay guys, I hope you will use these rules in your chart analysis, or at least it was entertaining for you to watch. If you'd like to have your chart analyzed, the Rashi Navamsha Dashamsa, when it comes to conventional areas like health, finances, and relationships with the timing and remedies, please hit me up in the email below and we can schedule the consultation for you. Also, please don't forget to click the like button. You are helping with the algorithm to make this video more viral on this YouTube platform. Subscribe for more and see you in the next one.